Hi, I'm Willden.
And I'm Kendelle.
We are
Geeks
Geeks
About
About Gaming. Hi guys, welcome to our second episode of our Geeks About Gaming rebrand thing. You can actually see us this time.
Woo!
Hi! Just like the olden days, guys. Yeah, be sure again to watch our old video content is up there for you guys as well. But for everybody that's new, welcome. I'm Willden.
I'm Kendelle. How you doing? And I just want to say, if you like something better, if you just like us audio, just like us visual, if you think you have some tips or tricks for us, if, there's just something we're missing or something you think we could do, let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Yes, and as usual, feel free, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, spread the word to your friends and family, and follow us on the socials.
Yes,
as well.
please.
Follow
us on the socials.
Well, yes. Yeah, we need the boost. We need the boost, and here we are again, doing things a little bit differently how we do before, but it's still kind of the same at heart. As you can see, we've changed. We got some new fancy stuff, some new of this, some new of that added in there, and for those of you who are just listening to audio, you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's okay. The fact that we have audio for you to hear, so I hope you enjoy our soothing sounds.
Enough.
Yeah, you'll get the idea. Yeah, I mean, you can see it on our socials too. We'll post the thing, and you can check it out and at your leisure, as they say, at your leisure. All right, so guys, again, we're gonna do how we always do. We're just gonna hop right into it. We go with a howdy. Kendelle, what's going on?
As usual, we have video games. We have those video game influencers like the streamers and whatnot.
Yay.
We got some new leaks, which is no longer a leak, and just some like video game store stuff we gotta tell you about. Pretty fun.
Store stuff. What's
store stuff?
Wait, are you talking about an actual store, or you're talking about online shopping, of course, right? Because that's the only store that exists nowadays.
Yeah, online shopping currently, nothing is open still. So fun. I love being in a pandemic.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast. We're having a grand old time.
Grand old time here.
It's so fun. But we got a lot of interesting stuff that happened this week, as usual. As I always say, like, oh, I can't wait to see what happened next week, and then the next week comes and it doesn't surprise me. Something crazy happens, something expected happens, something unexpected. It's all over the place.
Every single time something happens, it's like, how could there be more to this than what's happening right now?
But there's always more, and that's a good thing for us, because
That's
if there
true.
wasn't, then what would we be talking about? Memories of a better time.
I know, right? I can see it now. Just so sad.
I'm telling you, especially this week, it gets harder and harder not to get that con itch that, like, I just want to be at TwitchCon drinking with people, or I want to be, like, I even kind of missed Anime Expo for a hot second. I'm like being crunched up in the artist alley and like having a heat stroke, and I kind of missed that for a hot second.
Yeah.
Just getting that bad.
Since we can't be at any of those places this year, let me know what you discovered this week, Willden. Did you discover anything this week?
It just kind of goes with it's a discovery, and it also goes into what I've been playing this week, actually.
What have you been playing?
So, there's this game that's now on Game Pass. As you know, there's a lot of games that sometimes just hop in on Game Pass. You're like, what the heck is this? So you play it, and it becomes a big thing. This game called Hypnospace Outlaw.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure exactly when this game came out. I think fairly recently. The title vaguely sounded familiar, like I'd heard it in passing on some video or something somewhere. But this game, it's a, how do I describe it? It's, those like games that come out where it's like, oh, you're on the computer the whole time and stuff, like kind of like that sort of telling lies, stories untold, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's another one of those. Except instead of you just watching videos, it's you're participating in it. So just go back in time, if you will, because we're old enough to remember this. 1999. What a year that was. 1999. And being on the computer in 1999, you know, you had the internet, but it was a little slow. There was a lot of noises and things like that. Uh, you know, you started getting virtual interactions a little bit here and there by like talking through like AIM or whatever. MySpace wasn't even a thing yet. It just
Yeah.
you know, it's Windows 98, and you know that was about it. So this game takes place in 1999, and what it does is that the game is you being on a 1999 computer and experience. So you have big bold icons, you have like shitty video graphics and images and things like that, and
Yeah.
you're basically there's it's kind of like a Second Life. It's like an early version of a Second Life, where essentially it's a virtual MMO life simulator, except you only go into it when you're asleep.
Okay.
So only when you're asleep. And basically, your character, whoever is, which is you,
Yeah.
there's an agency that's basically like sort of the police force, and you're hired by this agency police force to basically go online, check everything as everything's happening, all these like web pages, interactions, and stuff, and make sure nobody's doing dumb or stupid shit. Um, and this thing, and it's great because they like not only did it have images, but they have like full commercials they film with actual actors and stuff. But the image
Wow.
just looks like crap. It's like barely, it's not even SD, but they like film videos. The music is probably the best part. They have all these original songs that they made for the game from like fake bands, fake company advertisements. There's songs about pizza. There's, you know, all kinds of stuff. And it goes really in depth, Kendall. Like you get certain missions assigned of things to look for, and then basically you're also kind of playing a Twitch mod in a way too. If you see stuff, you lay the ban hammer down, ban, get them out of here, and then every time you ban somebody, you get coins. And what you do with the coins is as you're looking around these sites, checking shit. Sometimes you'll see stuff that you can buy with coins, and so you get these coins, and you can buy wallpaper backgrounds, new music, new avatars, even little pets. I got a little pet hamster dude. And I started on the first mission, I started it, and then I don't know, an hour and a half went by, and I didn't even finish the first mission yet, just because there's so many web pages.
Mm.
This thing goes deep. Some are small, some are big, a lot of text. You'll click on one page, it'll hyperlink to another page, and then you'll get down that rabbit hole. And I spent a good hour and a half just searching web pages, just looking at them. I don't even think I've hit them all. I've hit a good portion of them, but it's very detailed and heavy. So if you want something that's a little bit different, that gives you that full like immersive experience, like they go all the way with it, and I highly recommend it. It's on Game Pass now. Get it, at least try it.
Yeah, I like that. Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I don't know how long it is or how many missions it goes. I'm finally starting to get to that point, but man, it goes deep. It goes, you know, checking for trolls and toxic stuff and things like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I was playing this week. What about you, Kendall? What's going? What are people playing this week? What's going on? What's the big new thing? What's the discovery? What's going on?
My discovery is Tabletop Simulator. And it's not
Ah.
the actual app, like the actual game itself. I just discovered that you can use Tabletop Simulator as a wonderful 3D model for Dungeons and Dragons.
Ah.
Yeah, so this whole week, me and my roommates have been using Tabletop Simulator to just show us what the rooms are like. And you could add people, you could add dragons, you could add like tables and chairs and like piles of gold coins if you want. And it really, really helps. The only problem is do not press the flip table button. Like, because
Oh
that will
no.
ruin everything.
And all is lost. Chaos
And then
ensues.
all is lost.
So when
Yeah.
somebody flips the table, you take that in the literal sense, like they flipped the table. That's it. That's
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's like a whole new awesome meaning to like top-down views of Dungeons and Dragons because now we're like physically in it and we can like see ourselves next to something like to scale and it's like it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool using Tabletop Simulator for D&D.
So wait, so you're saying, so do you like, is it one of those things like the DM builds the rooms ahead of time or you build it
Yes,
as you
yes.
go?
So the
Okay.
DM does have to build the rooms ahead of time,
Ooh.
but I don't know, they think it's worth it. My DM
Yeah,
thinks it's definitely worth it.
I mean, that's a heck of a lot of work. I appreciate the commitment because it's enough for come
For
up with a
sure.
story.
And like it's cool too because when it's just like flat, you can't tell height or anything. But using Tabletop Simulator, he like added like different balconies and stuff and we saw like height and we were like, I want to climb onto this balcony and then jump on this dragon's back and it was like, I don't know, it totally worked out our imagination. Like it didn't have much work to do because it was like right in front of us. It was so cool.
No, that sounds really neat. You know what? Tabletop similar. I still have never tried the daggone thing yet.
Nah, you should try
I
it.
keep seeing it on sale. I do want to get it because I've heard, yeah, that you can add really some cool stuff. And I didn't know about the D&D thing, but you can add some cool stuff to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
So I know I didn't know that that was a thing you could do. I thought it was like just board games and stuff.
yeah, again, I think part of it too is because I didn't have like people to, like play games on it with, but
Oh, I
like,
see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, I don't know, but I thought one day I'll get it. Eventually I will, but yeah, that sounds really cool. And that's been around for a minute, so to
Mm-hmm.
add all that in, that's really neat, actually. Yeah, so if you guys haven't gotten Tabletop Simulator, I mean, if you like board game, any kind of game, like they have like every like board card, whatever, pool, anything. They like there's
Mm-hmm.
always ways to like mod and add your own stuff to it. It's worth it, I think, if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
Hmm.
Speaking of other things that happened this week, last weekend, G4 TV made an announcement just on their socials. One video, a video of Adam Sessler being a crazy, crazy car salesman, right? And he was asking us, the fans,
Me?
you. He's asking
Oh,
you
me? Oh,
and
hey,
me
well, conveniently.
and everybody else to find G4 TV a host for their segments. And basically, he asked everyone to tag their favorite content creator or favorite host or whatever. And if you wanted to put your own name in the ring, you would just have to send in an audition tape and post that online. And let me tell you, everyone and their mothers did. There were so many videos out. There were so many like duos. I even did a duo myself. Willden even contributed himself. I saw that. Uh, there were a lot of big names, a lot of little names, and like honestly, I have no idea how they're gonna choose people. Like I have zero idea how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, well, here's okay. First off, yeah, it was great to see Crazy Adam back because I never thought I'd see him again.
Right?
It's been a long time since seen Crazy Adam. Yeah, it just came out blue. They announced it, and I know they had like a first like initial thing for it. So I was like, did all the people that apply for that were they just like wherever we're gonna scratch it and redo it differently or?
Yeah, they did have an open casting call a month or two ago, would you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what happened to that? I don't know what happened to that, but they did a second one last weekend and it was a video one and they said also that they can close the casting call whenever they want and that this is not the main way they're going to or like the only way. This is not the only way that they're going to find people. So I wonder if they're like doing both or something or I don't know. It's exciting to think about though.
It's exciting because it's exciting. It's weird. I feel two ways on it. One, yes, it's great. It's exciting. Awesome. G4 hire us. Where are you doing? We're right here. We're right
Mhm.
nearby. We ain't that far away. Just bring us in. That's like half the reason I moved out here was for a job like that I never thought would exist again.
Mhm.
But yeah, here's the thing though. Here's the problem, and this is the one thing that worries me. One is it's good though because they're looking for a lot of people, which means I hope this is like what's Vin doing, where it's like I'm like, okay, don't like Vin's doing it in parts. I'm like, do it to full extent, streaming or whatever. Make this like a full channel. That means more opportunities, more hosts, more positions for hosts, better our chances. It helps
Mhm.
us out, you know.
Mhm.
But at the same time, the fact that there's so many people wanting and applying for this, one, it's good. It's nice. It's nice to see G4 impacted a lot of people and things like that.
Yeah.
But two, again, you gotta remember G4 was like more about like, don't, if you want, Ven, I get it. Ven was a new thing to get bigger name creators. That makes sense.
Mhm.
And I saw somebody made a thing about, but it's like, G4 doesn't need that. Because look, all the people applying. You don't need these big name people to draw people in. So I really hope they're like looking everybody seriously.
Yeah, I feel like G4 TV, the name itself, will get so many people to watch it, you
Yeah,
know?
so don't get all the top influencers and stuff like that. Another thing that worries me too is,
Basically, Willden is saying hire him. G4 TV, do
yes,
you
for
hear
goodness
this?
sake,
Hire
yes.
Willden. He will
And I
not disappoint you.
yeah, yeah, and I'll tell you this why too. Here's another thing that'll be a selling point.
Mhm.
Because
What's the
you and
selling
I,
point?
Kendall, like
Uh-huh.
I watched it when it was on, right? I watched it when it was on.
Mhm. Most of
You
my
watched it.
I did watch it when it was on, like, on cable, but most of my memories are from pirated videos on YouTube.
That's okay. That's okay. But I'm saying this. I'm glad so many people are applying, but let me just say, if all these people that were applying really were fans of G4 and watched it, it would still have never gone off the air. It would still be here. Okay? Let me just say that. Let me just say that.
It's because the times back then were different and we
Yeah.
didn't have, like, this influx of nerd culture
Yes.
community like
Yeah,
we
no,
do
that's
now.
true. Yeah, and that's why I should be here now. But I'm just saying, if you're looking for people that were fans and stuff like that, I get it. There's all these high profile people and stuff like that you can think, but I can daggone guarantee you, not all of them watched G4 and understood it like I did and like Kendall did a little bit, and like some of us actually watch it. So if you're going through all these people and pick these higher ups, at least pick people to actually watch a show, because I sure as hell I'm not gonna like sit here and let you pick some big name influencer that never really watched G4 what was on just because they're big in a gaming community. Not for this.
I mean, in all honesty though, I would totally be happy if Xavier Woods got it though.
Oh, I mean, I
Oh
at this
my
hold on.
gosh.
At
At
this
this
point,
point, they have to hire him.
no, I'm going into this assuming that's the case.
Oh,
I,
I feel like yeah, I feel like
it's
that's the
already in the
first
bag.
person
It's
or
already
it has to be the first person or the last
right.
person they announce.
Yeah, no, like I expect that's the only guarantee I know out of G4.
Oh,
This whole thing is that
yeah.
he's gonna be a host on this thing
He
somehow,
has to be. Everyone's
right?
fending
And
for him. He's like number 1 right now.
yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But again, and that's fine. There's exceptions, right? That's fine. But again, G4 was meant to like get people started and get them in the platform and stuff like that. All these hosts that are being recommended, they're great and awesome. And some of them probably were fans of G4, which is great.
Mhm.
At the same time, though, they'll be fine if they don't get it. They have stuff going on. There's still some of us out there, like yours truly,
Yes.
that's still, I mean, we're starting our
Like
podcast,
Wilden.
right? But
Yes.
even Kendall too. Even Kendall too, for real. Like Kendall and I are starting on a thing and stuff like that, which is great and everything. But again, all these other big name people, they'll be fine if they don't get G4. You can have them like as guests or whatever. But there are some of us out there like me and Kendall that are still like working towards and trying to get to that point of being a host thing, because we were influenced by G4. And so like this is it. Like for, I don't know about you, Kendall, because you're
Yes.
better equipped for this than me. But I'm one of those where it's like I'm you throw me in the deep end of the
Yeah.
environment, throw me in the big stuff. That's where I learn and grow.
This is a podcast episode, but
Yes,
like this is also an advertisement
it
for
is. Like
us.
yeah, it's for us. Like, and again, like it's for like Kendall and I fully believe we're capable and deserving this as much as everybody else is, and that's the thing, right? And it's good too, because I am seeing the good thing about this. I am seeing smaller people. I've saw like
Yeah,
you
I
know
think it's fantastic.
I don't have the best, like the lighting isn't the best. I don't have the best lighting audition or whatever, right? And I don't have the fancy edit reels and stuff. But I've still seen a dude or whatever record something on his phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I hope they just take it personality's sake and everything like that. And again, you have all these people with all these reels and these doodads, and I did this thing, I did this thing, I did this thing, and that's okay. I'm just saying, make sure you pick people that were fans of the show and all that. You should take them into priority first, no matter how big or small they are, and then go from there.
Hire
If
Willden. But also, I am here to say that, like, if you do consider Willden, he is fantastic. I think you really should consider Willden. Just throw him a bone. Like, he would do so fantastic in this industry, and he just needs a chance. He just needs someone to get him an interview. And this is why we kind of made this podcast. One, because we're in love with the gaming community, and we know we could do this type of stuff, and we took it in our own hands to make our own podcast. So
yeah, I mean, well, thank you, Kendall. That's very sweet of you to say. That's
yeah.
very kind and very nice. And like, again, if I got an interview for G4, I'm for sure gonna be like, hey, I mean, Kendall and I do this thing together, but I'm telling you, like, if I'm saving you some of the work, if you're looking for new content, just bring Kendall and I to just bring us in. That like, I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. I'll be on all of your shows too, but if it gives a
Mhm.
chance for more people to be on it, I'll be fine with one show. But
Mhm.
I want this, but I'm not gonna not mention Kendall if I get an interview for this thing and bring her in too. I got to, because I'm like, I mean, you can just stick with me if you want, but I'm just letting you know that, like, if you want something easy content, Kendall and I right here, we know we have good chemistry and we work together. You should bring her in too. You know?
Oh my god, that would be so fantastic. All like,
Yeah,
that is just the dream. But
that's just your dream.
anyway, moving on to other things that are coming back or is already back. As we know, Mixer ended, Ninja was over there, Ninja came back to Twitch. I found out this week that if you were previously following Ninja before he moved to Mixer, you still technically follow him now on Twitch. Like, if you were following him, he left. He technically didn't have a profile on Twitch anymore, but now
Mm.
that he's back, you don't have to go back to his profile and re-hit that follow button, that heart, because it's there for you already. Twitch thought about it. They're like, we got to give Ninja all his follows back, so here it is. You're welcome, Ninja. And now he's at the top of my feed every day.
And I finally gave him a follow too. I was like, all right,
Did
I'll
you?
give this
Oh
jerk
my
a
god!
follow.
No way! Have you watched any of his streams?
I watched a second of him playing Fall Guys, and it was
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
him. Oh, he told us. Oh, I don't want. One time I come in, he tells this really sad story about his dog going through some crap, and how the dog got better. And I was like, that poor dog. I felt sorry for that dog. But
That hooked you. It hooked you in.
that's the one thing. The one time I watch his content, that's what he's talking about. But yeah, and I was like, I'll be fine giving the bigger streamers the follow now. Like, I follow like Lupo and Tend to Tap Man Stroud, but it's like I tune in their streams once a year for about
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I follow all of them, but I mostly just support and watch smaller streamers. I feel
Yeah.
like we should support small
Mhm.
streamers, and like, yes, I could give my money to like Ninja or like Pokimane or something, to Tatman, but like, I want to support other smaller streamers, and I think that's where my subs should go. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's all they're getting from me is a follow. I'm not donating to any of them. The only time I'm going to do that is if I want to show off and I become rich all of a
Yeah.
sudden and get their attention for something.
Although I totally would buy their merch. Like, I want Pokimane
Oh,
merch
really?
so bad. Yeah, I
Really?
love her. Pokimane's merch is so cute.
I mean,
And then I already have Valkyrie merch. Like, I have a sweater of
Jesus.
hers. Oh my god, I love the sweaters. Everyone's sweaters. Oh, I think maybe I'm just so into sweaters that I love their merch so much.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
Ray is very sweater based.
she
That's
is
what makes this
100% sweater based, but that's okay because I'm sweater based too. But the goal is to get smaller streamers that fan base, so where they could make merch too, and then we could buy their merch. Boom!
And we
Bigger
can make our
goal.
own merch.
And then we can make our merch if this
Yeah.
podcast gets out there. That's the goal. Spread this to your friends. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, kind of. No, that's a good way of like looking at things. Again, at the end of the day, like, me personally, like, I totally get you wanting the merch. I just want to do it myself because I'm not gonna buy a merch of somebody unless like it's somebody that like I like believe in and really support. I'm not gonna buy, even if it's like, even because if it's cute or something, I feel weird because I feel like I'm like cheating people that do want it, or like I'm being a
Mm-hmm.
phony by saying I'm buying this person when I have no attachment, even if it is cute or adorable. But
Yeah, I
hey, more
get
power to you.
you.
More power to you. And speaking of Pokimane,
And speaking of
you
Pokimane,
love talking about her story of coming back, leaving, coming
oh my
back.
gosh,
What's going
because
on now?
it's every week. So a month ago, she made an announcement that she is taking a break from content creation because I've said this previously. She wants to fall in love with content creation again. And she did go on that break immediately after that announcement. But then that next week, she came back because she had to deal with some personal issues when it comes to people criticizing her, of her being criticized. It was a lot. It was a 16-minute long video. Then she went back on break. Then she came back and she came back to host the Chat's Choice Awards, and then she went back on break, and then guess what? Her break ended. It ended, and now she's streaming again. It was a very successful stream. It felt like she wasn't even gone. People have said that. People said they missed her. Her sub count did go down, but like obviously it went way up there super fast, and she's just back, and it felt like she wasn't gone. But this is the podcast letting you know that she's officially back, even though every week so far we have talked about her.
It just killed me. It's like, oh, we missed you. I'm like, what do we mean? There was no time to miss her.
Yeah, and I like said that super fast. I needed to recap the whole thing, but I can't miss her if I feel like she wasn't gone. But I hope Pokimane had enough time to herself to where she actually fell back in love with content creation. I hope for her, man, because she's a wonderful content creator, and she's a wonderful influence to women out there all over, young girls who want to be streamers in this very male heavy based community. And like, yeah, I don't know, she's just a wonderful person and a good influencer to them.
That's nice to hear. I'm, pushing all the simps out the way and all the trolls and all that jazz, and I
I
mean,
think, yeah, this break is definitely a good way to get rid of trolls, I feel.
yeah,
They get bored, they go into a different creator, which is sad, but like,
yeah. I mean, again though, but like you said, it's like she had a time off, but I felt like her time off was equivalent for me of taking a day off from streaming that I do every week. Like that was it. I'm like, oh, I need my break. Okay,
you're
I'm
like,
good.
oh, I took a break and I'm back, but I didn't really take a break because it was just one day. It's like,
Again, it's like I don't know. It's just like I feel like she should, you know, go back to Japan or go somewhere and so it just. I don't even know if she can. I don't know if she could go travel somewhere and not like herself have the urge to not
yeah,
stream it
I
or
get you.
something. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, but hey, yay, everybody's
But
back
she's
together.
back.
Yeah, all the and then of course her Ninja and Ray, all the big people playing the game together to playing the
Yes.
game.
Yes, they're all playing games
yeah,
together. One day we'll be in that group playing games with them.
sure, yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? I see. Again, it's like yes, that'd be yeah. I mean, totally down for that. But again, it's like I can't. Just my egotistical brain is like, hey, I'll be down to play with them. But start us off. Go ahead to I guess the Xbox stuff or whatever. Just go into it.
Okay, and here we are. The next new thing, the next hot thing that got leaked was Xbox Series X/Series S. It got leaked online. A lot of information got leaked online, and Xbox just went with it. They literally posted a meme and then posted a informational kind of tweet where they just said, "Well, it's out there, so let's make it official." And they did. They released all their new information about Xbox Series S early, and here is what I have for you. Xbox Series S. It's white, which looks fantastic. And it's literally the smallest Xbox ever. You can pre order it September 22nd for $299. And also, you can get Xbox All Access for only $24.99 a month for 2 years. And this whole thing will be available November 10th. So I personally think Xbox did a great job just handling the entire situation, cuz usually when it comes to leaks, they don't usually I feel like people don't like address leaks, you know? But they went with it and they grabbed it underneath. They like held the catch, they held the fall, they caught the fall. That's what I'm trying to say. They caught the fall, and we just get this information early, which is fine. Yeah. What do you think about What do you think about Xbox Series S?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't mention this because considering our past episodes, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the memes that this
Oh
caused.
yeah, there's so many fucking memes out
I was
there,
waiting for the
dude.
Kindle meme segment to
I
come
wanted to
up.
get what your thought first.
Okay. Yeah. Besides the memes, yeah, you're right. To handle this well, I know for a second people are like, "Oh, they leaked it themselves." Da, da, da. No, apparently that wasn't the case. It wasn't planned. They didn't leak it themselves. They just had a nice recovery. And yeah, you know what? It's a good deal. It's a good deal for
Yeah,
what you're getting and
I think
everything. I
so
mean,
too.
it's not gonna convince me by any means, but yeah, if you're looking like the holiday season and stuff like that, really,
Mhm.
it's almost making it seem like you can almost see that the S is the main console, and
Yes.
then the other one, the bigger one, is like just like, oh, if you really are a big gamer, then get that one.
Yeah. But
Eh,
like I feel like the Xbox Series S would be perfect for someone like me who's not a big console player, more of a PC gamer, but like I think it's so cute, it's sleek, it'll fit with my setup. It's like enough for what I need, you know?
mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you get an Xbox, is the one you're gonna go with?
Yeah, I would go with Xbox Series S.
Series S.
The
Yeah, and it
S
comes.
for
Yeah, and
small.
we got it. It's nice. It's nice too because we have a date and a price of one of these two consoles. We know
Yes.
everybody's been waiting for a long time.
Mhm.
They're somebody for someone, and Xbox, for better or worse, got their trigger pulled first,
Yep.
whether they want to or not, and we got it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy how like we have the PS5, don't even know how much that is, but then we got leaked the Series S and X for Xbox, and we have both prices, when it's gonna be out. Like it's like, did that all happen because it was leaked? Was this leak intentional?
Apparently not. Some people were thinking of it, and supposedly, like I was listening to I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but they were sitting at inside sources and they're just saying that no, it wasn't intentional. But
Yeah.
well, but they could just be saying that too. I don't know because I know they were both holding back on pulling the trigger. We
Yeah.
do know since then too, Sony is next week having another conference talking about PlayStation 5 content. They didn't say anything
Mhm.
related to the price of the console, but the last time they did that, they just said it was going to be about content, and they did show us the console.
Mm.
So we're thinking this. We might finally know next week.
Yeah.
What the price is going to be and the date for that as well. Because I think
Ooh,
now they're
so
like Xbox pulled it
exciting.
first. We're going to do it. Yeah. So we'll hopefully know by next episode. We'll know.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But also because of this, and now we know what it looks like, of course, the memes will start rolling in. I think my favorite right now is the meme where it's a fucking call box for drive-throughs. It literally looks like it's the speaker, and underneath it would say, please place order here. And then you start saying, yeah, could I get a number 3 with large fries, please? And like a strawberry shake. That's what it looks like, does it not?
Shoot, all you gotta do is just like somehow implement like a I don't know, like a DoorDash or like an Uber Eats, and you can just like instead of ordering it on your phone, you could just
You
tell your
order it on the
Xbox.
Xbox?
Yeah, like a full simulation. You can just pretend you're in the car and just
We
drive
take
off.
VR to real life right now.
Yeah.
Also, people have said it looks like a grill. People have said it looks like a washing machine. People have said
Mhm.
it looks like a cassette tape player. Like, it really just looks like one
Amazing.
large speaker.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's an interesting design choice. It's kind of goofy, but
Yeah, it's just like a giant circle inside a white box.
Yeah, it's weird. And that's the other thing too. It's like I don't know if me personally that like wouldn't drive me nuts.
Yeah, I feel like the PS5's design is definitely cooler and sleeker, but you can make fun of PS5 way
Yes.
more than this Xbox Series S.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen the memes from that too. The old
Yeah,
Kaiba meme.
the memes for PS5 is way better, 100%. They
Yeah.
win on that for sure.
Yeah, because there was more like thought into it, you know. Whereas
Yeah,
the Series X, it's like they just handed it to you. There
yeah,
wasn't
they
much thought
literally
to it.
someone was literally like white. But usually your consoles are black. They're like, okay, put a black circle on it. They're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
nice. Yeah, no, it's that's the thing, right? Everything, and that's the thing too, is all these consoles are white. First it used to be black, then was white. I mean, the 360 originally was white, but then went to black,
It
and
did, yes.
PlayStation was always black. Now it's like
PlayStation
black
was
and
always
white.
black.
Well, PS1. To be fair. And speaking of too, which is another surprising thing, I think some people expected them to make an announcement because there was the 25th anniversary of the PS1 being in the US this week. And people thought, oh, that'd be a good day to
Yeah.
announce something, but they
And
didn't.
no, not at all. Because they
Quiet.
hate us.
They know we're gonna buy it anyway. They know.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Okay.
jerks.
What else happened, Wilden?
Oh, what happened this week? Well, I'm glad you asked, Kendall. Thanks. So, one thing is that the game Kenna, which was a big hit,
Yes.
it was one of the bigger hits of the last PlayStation conference. I guess I don't know. It's technically, I guess it's smaller game. I'm not sure if it's AAA or smaller, but it's made by people that were involved in Pixar. It's got very Pixar look. People liked it. It looks cool. It's like an
I love the trailer.
action fantasy thing. They just unfortunately we're gonna have to wait a little longer. They came out with a notification saying, "Surprise, because of COVID, it's being delayed till next year." Not coming out this year.
Surprise.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
it's
oh,
been
boo-hoo.
happening.
Oh, this pandemic just taking away everything from us. How dare?
Yeah, it's bad enough we're CD Project Red is like, we're telling you that we're good. We're not doing any more delays. They said like 2 reassurances already. Just to let you guys know, we're still okay. We're good. We delayed it. We're fine this time.
They're like, bitch, just kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, which was one of the favorites, we lose Kendelle. Luckily for PlayStation, though, it's not. Because see, that's unlike Xbox, which they had Halo and they lost that. They don't have like a lot of big selling games. PlayStation's still okay. They still got a few more. Granted, some of them like Horizon is gonna be early 2021. We still don't know for sure the Ratchet and Clank thing or stuff like that. But hopefully with Spider-Man and stuff, they'll be able to carry on for now. So it's unfortunate, but again, always more time is never a bad thing. As much as we hate it, usually always works out for the better, unless you're Duke Nukem Forever. But you know, there's exceptions to the rule. And yes, so that's happening. Also, an update on a bigger topic that's been going on, this whole Apple versus Epic thing. We got some new updates. There's always been new updates with that recently. So Apple is now changing some things. They're updating terms of service, which it is giving the tiniest olive branch possible, but really not making things any better for the situation. So basically, as they said to this, and this is I'm just gonna read some quotes here. This is from Matt Kim at IGN, who quoted from Apple. Games offered as a streaming game service subscription must be downloaded directly from the App Store, must be designed to avoid duplicate payment by a subscriber, and should not disadvantage non-subscriber customers. So apps for streaming services could be on the store as a catalog app that will help users sign up. Like, that's a potential thing. But basically, each game must have an individual App Store page.
Oh,
so basically, it's saying, like, yeah, you can have xCloud, but you can't technically load the game through the X Cloud. You would have to load the game as its own separate application, and then that goes to the X Cloud. So whether it would be that or Epic or whatever, it's basically it's like adding all these unnecessary steps to
Yeah.
make this work. So like if you get, like I said, like a Fortnite or something like that, you have to download Fortnite the app, then you have to make sure you connect that or get it through Epic, and then
Uh-huh.
you don't go through Epic. But then if you want to go, and then also too, that also counts for purchase it, because then Apple still takes that 30% cut. So let's say, oh, I have Halo through the X Cloud on my phone, but I want to buy a new skin or a new multiplayer map. You still have to purchase that then through the game app,
Okay.
and then the Apple would still get a 30% of that cut, even though you're still going through xCloud,
Yeah.
sort of. So,
Jeez.
so it's they're like giving them a chance, but it's this really like weird old school way out of the way thing, and it's just it's again it's the tiniest step in the right direction, but it's barely a step. It's a lot, because imagine all the stuff they already have installed on that.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
IGA was saying, like hundreds of games already installed. You have to go back and make a separate app for all those games. Like, who's gonna want to take the time to do that?
Yeah. Wow.
It's I don't know, Kendall. It's getting crazier and crazier by the second.
Mhm. That is a little crazy.
Yeah, it's far reach. So yeah, I will keep you updated. This by the week, things are changing, things are progressing. This is kind of a big deal for the game industry as a whole.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see where it goes from here. Speaking of things changing the game industry, let's talk about our old friend GameStop. Yes, GameStop still
Woo!
exists.
It
Yes,
does,
it
which is
still has
kind of
stores.
crazy.
It does. It does.
Just a few stores
So
here and there.
yeah, so this is also according to IGN. Jordan Oldman posted this. So they had a call a while ago saying that they were gonna close about 300 stores at a previous earnings call. Now there's been an update, and they're actually closing more stores. They're actually closing up to 100 more stores. So somewhere between 400 and 450 stores are actually going to close, and now go from now until 2021. But it's weird. So GameStop Online saw a 800% sales increase, which sounds good, but it's still less than expectations of what was expected it to do concerning the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that, and they were saying too, which is a fair point. Like, I don't know if we ever talked about some podcast or not, but we're talking about doing, like revamping the stores, the ones that were left, to like a more experience space. Like they were gonna have couches, all this stuff, and I think they might even build a store already. They were testing out like New York or something, and talk about maybe if that did well rolling it out. Of course, that was before COVID happened, so who knows if that's even still gonna happen or not, or if that's out the window. Um, so yeah, it's we even thought before COVID that GameStop will slowly go downhill, but then you had people like Reggie hop in and be on the board, and they're like, maybe they're gonna redo, or it's like, who knows at this point. And I mean, I'm surprised, I guess. I mean, again, it's not the highest, it's not what they expected, but that people still use GameStop Online
Yeah.
is interesting, considering. Because you would be like, well, why don't you just use Amazon? Or if you're going to go online, why not just go get a game through PSN or Xbox? Especially with this Game Pass becoming a thing. The fact that people would still even go through GameStop is interesting. I
Mhm.
guess the only exception would be like for consoles. I guess that makes sense. But then again, they sell like, digital games. You would go through like Epic or Steam or something. But no, people still use it. Again, probably with like the Switch coming out and these two consoles will help it and things like that. So it always teeters on. It's not as big of a fall, I feel like, maybe as to like what Blockbuster was. Like it wasn't it's slowly, more gradually, slowly dying. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. I think the last time I was in GameStop Kendall was in K Town off the Metro stop. There's one right there, and it was nice to walk into like once in a while. Be like, these were times, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it helps to physically see stuff, but even then, like I know, like going to Best Buys, even the gaming section of Best Buys have kind of dwindled down.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I just like I don't know. When was the last time you went to Games? I almost said Best Buy, GameStop for anything or gaming?
Honestly,
GameStop.
I feel like it was last year in the mall, but it was so bare, you know? I feel like there was nothing there or something. And there
Yeah,
was like one worker, like not doing much. Yeah.
and I mean, we always heard stories about how the workers were treated were necessarily the best, and
Yeah.
um, you know, and like I think technically I still have my elite card. I think now that I think
No.
about
Yeah.
it, but it's weird because I would always gain enough points just to use the points to renew it, so I rarely ever had to pay for it. But I mean, I think the
Yeah.
last, you know, you can, you know, still have the good memories of waiting in line at midnight to physically get a game or something.
Yeah.
And they would have like sometimes people, if you're like in LA, they would have people work on the game, do like a signing thing, which was cool and things like that. I think the last game I ever pre-ordered that I got at midnight was here. It was in Burbank at the Burbank Mall, was for Kingdom Hearts 3. That was like the last one that I could think of where I pre-ordered like a game directly. But again, it's the only place you can like sell used games physically, I guess. Anymore. A lot of the bigger games I would get, I resell back and things like that sort. Which brings up my issue with digital. The only issue I still have with digital is that I can't resell games. Like once you buy them digital, you can't sell them back. So that's always a risk you're taking if you're pre-ordering a game. You're still not 100% sure on a digital. There's no way for you to sell that back. You just wasted $50. You'll never get back. I wish there was a way to somehow do that digitally, like resell stuff. I don't think you could, but that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
so that,
it's a good idea for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's yeah, it's nice to go in, but you know, it's whatever. But yeah, that's enough. There's one big thing that happened this week, Kendall, which is Ubisoft had their second Ubisoft Forward, and apparently not its last either. And I feel like we should talk about what we saw and things there. But before that, Kendall, there's another thing that happened before Ubisoft Forward, which was my man Eve, little Eve, always running around saying stuff.
Yeah.
Came out with a video basically apologizing for all the stuff that's happened and all that. Interesting, it came out before the presentation. It wasn't involved, as it seemed like the way it was filmed. It was meant to be part of the presentation, but they decided to put it online before. And I've heard they haven't added to any of their VODs and stuff like that. So it seems like, oh, it was just for Twitter for that one day, and then we'll never talk about it again. Kendall, did you watch that as well? And how did you feel about them putting out that video and how they did it?
They probably shouldn't have put that on video just because his body language and it feels so scripted.
Yeah, it was basically him just like apologizing for stuff they do. And he's like, oh, we're going to donate to stuff to this and this and this. And people were kind of, I don't know if they like people were really buying into it. But again, the whole idea of them kind of like hiding this seemed a little just like man up and just fucking admit to it already, you know? And just, I mean, this video they kind of do, but again, not to put in the presentation and address it, it seems a little, I don't know. Is that some Kindle you think they should have just, they should have like stepped up a presentation, or you find that they...
I watched a little bit of I watched a little bit of it, and it just doesn't seem like the type of person you would put on camera to make like an apology type video.
Yeah, it's weird because he is the face of the company. So like when all this was going on, like in the beginning, he was kind of quiet, and people were like, "Why hasn't he said anything about it?" So that's part of the reason why. But
yeah, I don't know if it might be better in writing, and then you literally post that
Yeah.
everywhere. I just don't know. I can see people watching that video and then just not like not caring about it or like not believing him. You know?
Yeah. But again, it's like, is this something they should have put in the main event and not have it as a separate video like right before that? Do you think that
Yeah.
would have had more of an impact to be like have it in the thing? Whereas here again, it's like you said, it feels scripted. They just posted it on Twitter. They didn't really announce they were doing it. They just threw it up there right before it, like kind of like a, I would say like laziness behind it, but
Mhm.
they purposely didn't put much notice on it or anything.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
That is for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But yeah, at the Ubisoft cons at like at E3 every year, he's always there. I mean, overall, people like him generally, but he has been, he's in a weird spot right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to say it. But anyway, but I feel like we had to address it. We couldn't not address it.
Yeah, you definitely have to address it 100%.
Yeah. But in the meantime, though, Kendall, but then we had the Ubisoft Forward that happened, right?
Yeah.
We had Ubisoft Forward happen. We got finally we got gameplay. We got a date. We've
Woo!
got all kinds of info on what used to be called Gods and Monsters, but now it's called Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody's saying it's Breath of the Wild, but hey, it doesn't seem like weapon degradation, so it's a slightly better Breath of the Wild.
Oh my gosh.
It's very I know the look of it has changed over time. It looks a lot different than it used to be. It's got a comedic tone to it. There's a
Mhm.
lot of jokes. I was watching people give opinion on their like because some of the press got to play it and they were saying that what makes it slightly interesting is that like the narrators are Zeus and who was the other host? It was Zeus and
Hmm.
fudge. I forgot who was chained up or whatever. But they like commentate, like they're the ones that narrate the game. Like the protagonist talks, but she's not much of a talker. But the fact that the gods are the narrators and
Yeah.
they'll comment on the fact, like they reference the fact that the game was called Gods and Monsters, so they break the fourth wall and stuff like that. Um, and it comes out in December this year, which I think surprising to some of people. And it's coming out on all current systems right now. And then nothing about next gen. But it's even coming to Stadia. Oh, which by the way, we got to talk about Stadia again for a second.
Mhm.
We got to talk about that. But so Kendall, what do you think about? Were you ever interested in this Gods of Monsters game? What do you think about this? Does this catch your eye at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty like fun. It looks fun. I'm like kind of excited for it. It reminds me of other like no, I don't want to say like Monster Hunter, but like like something of that sort. I don't know. It's just I laugh into it.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. I want to check it out. I like the open world aspects. Um, and playing it would be cool and give me an idea if I would like the new Zelda or not or things of that
Yeah.
sort.
Mhm.
I mean, I gotta be honest. The title, it's not the best title. It's not that
Nope.
they should have just kept Gods and Monsters. They should
Yeah,
just
it was a little weird. Like
I don't.
they made it longer.
Yeah, Immortals: Phoenix Rising. I mean, I guess they're setting up for a franchise. I mean, is it called?
Oh, yeah.
But the
Oh,
problem is that
100%.
there's no colon though. So it's like, is Immortals the name of the franchise? If then why didn't you put Immortals: Phoenix Rising? But no, it's not a subtitle. That's what makes it more confusing.
Yeah, it just what it yeah. I don't know if the art wise, I don't know if it looks like it could be successful as like as a franchise, as a series, just because when it comes to series, like they tend to not like this has a very cartoony aspect to it, But for what it is, it doesn't even look cartoony.
Yeah, and I guess the positive in that too is that it does. I mean, there are good games out there like A Plague Tale: Innocence or games like that where the first entry they have subtitle, which is telling you they play on this ticket franchise. And in one sense, it could seem like they're a little bit, oh, they're a little full of themselves. They think this game's pretty good. It does come across that way, but if it works, it's fine. That seems to be a new hip thing, I guess.
I guess, yeah, because it just looks like a mix of like Monster Hunter and like Breath of the Wild. Like
Yeah,
it's, if you put those two games together, I feel like this is it.
yeah, yeah. That's a good. Yeah, that a little Shadow Colossus maybe too.
Shadow, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, good thing. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like a new franchise, a new IP. That's always a good thing to see. And then I don't know about you, Kendall, but this thing. But we're gonna talk about some returning franchises though. Some returning franchises again officially announced. Our boy, everybody's favorite person, Sam Fisher's coming back, folks. Again. Wait. Wait. He's not. Oh, he's coming back in another game. Oh,
Oh
that's right,
my
folks. Again, for the
gosh.
15th billionth time, Ubisoft's trolling everybody again and not giving a new Splinter Cell game, but
Oh
putting Sam
my
Fisher in another one.
god.
And not this time, it is Rainbow Six
Ah ha
Siege.
ha.
They showed us a little story to give us a little something as to why he's in Rainbow Six Siege. But again, Kendall, it's gone too long. It's gone too long at this
Just a
point.
little
The
bit.
joke is gone. The meme has gone too long.
They just got to do something about it.
It's like it's seriously like at some point. I mean, even then, like it's like it gets to a point where it was a funny meme to now people are just like had enough. Um, Granted, Rainbow Six Siege is really big. They announced, they're having the big tournament and things like that. Good for those people that like that thing. I don't personally care about Rainbow Six Siege as much, but again, it's just this Sam Fisher trolling thing. It's like, oh my god.
Oh, if they have it, they have it. They got it. They did it. It's a
Do you
thing that's
do you care
happening.
about Rainbow Six Siege at all? Have you ever tried it?
I was so into Rainbow Six Las Vegas, and I just couldn't get into Siege. I just couldn't do it. But like I'm a fan of like just yes, like of like the franchise. But
Okay.
they just have so much to it now. Like I don't know, they gotta do something different.
Yeah, it's I mean, if I had to pick a Tom Clancy franchise, I would probably pick Rainbow Six Siege as the one I would play.
I'm waiting for more Splinter Cells to come out there. Where are all my Splinter Cells?
Apparently, never, because you're gonna have to play other games to get your Splinter Cell fix. Apparently, according to Ubisoft.
No, dude, they used to make so many Splinter Cell games back then. What about
Mm,
now? I want one now.
I know, but another similar thing of throwing an old friend back into the game, but actually in a way that kind of makes sense. We got more footage of Watch Dogs Legion. The big story being that Stormzy, who's apparently a rapper that people like, who I'd never heard of before, is appearing in Watch Dogs Legion because it takes place in London. He's a London, UK rapper. He has his own mission. That's cool. I know people are actually excited for Watch Dogs. They even didn't like the previous ones. Are kind of into this. I'll wait and see how it turns out. But those who are fans of the franchise, your boy Aiden Pierce is back.
Ooh.
Coming back and, doing the cliche classic I'm a man favorite male character, coming back with a beard, because that's how they always do
Ah
it.
ha ha,
They
yeah.
always come back with a beard when they've never had a beard before because they're badass and gruff and had experience.
Mhm.
He's showing up, who, just in case those who don't know, he was the main protagonist of the first game. Um, People like Aiden, yeah, like him. He's not the most famous protagonist around, but there are people that are happy that he's back. Apparently, he made a cameo appearance as well in the second one, and he's back for the third one. And so he's gonna be a playable character in the DLC expansion. So if you're happy about that, that's good. But
Wow, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious to see how Watch Dogs Legion, another game that's been delayed. I felt like they've talked about it for 5 years. But it's finally coming out. And it looks interesting. It looks very interesting. Are you into Watch Dogs? Have you ever played Watch Dogs?
Yeah, yeah, I played the first Watch Dogs and then I couldn't get into the second Watch Dogs. It was so different and I don't know, there's something about it that I just wasn't into.
You know what? And that, you know what's weird? You know what, Kendall? And I'm sure there's other people that have the same opinion you do. I feel like this Watch Dogs franchise, there's people that like the first one more and like the second one more. It's very split. Um, Maybe this third one will bring everybody together. All right, so you seeing Aiden Pierce coming back, does that do anything for you at all to be like, oh,
I
you know
don't
what?
know, like,
Like,
yeah, I don't know. There's, like I'm not into that series anymore. I
hmm.
feel like I don't know, there's something about it that didn't pique my interest anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm with you on that too. That's why I'm like a wait and see. Like I'll give Legion a shot, but again, even Watch Dogs 2, I played for a little bit.
Yeah.
It has everything I like: open worlds, missions, characters. But there was just something about it still that didn't quite grab me. Even with the cool cyberpunky neon look, um, I'm not opposed to giving it another shot again and trying it out. The first one was free on Epic a while ago. I might give that another shot again. But yeah, I feel that with you. Just something about that hasn't grabbed me, which is weird.
Yeah, it was so sad. I feel like the first one was so good.
Hyperscape. Let's talk about that. Hyperscape has since, been out. It's free.
Mhm.
People
Yep.
play it, I guess, even though nobody talks about it, but people are playing it.
Yep.
Coming out with a new turbo mode.
Wow, tell me about
Yeah.
turbo mode.
Yeah, it's a god mode edition where it increases everything. Faster gameplay,
Wow.
faster time, faster
Wow.
things closing in onto you, fast-paced
Wow.
game, maximum experience,
Wow.
ultimate. And that's what it is. Comes out the end of September.
As if the game wasn't fast already, you know?
Oh
Like, as
no.
if the
Oh.
game wasn't good and fast and already, like,
No, it needs to be
boosted.
faster, Kindle. There's not enough people talking about it right now. They need to update the overdrive and just
I
fucking
guess
go.
so. I guess that's what they have to do.
I mean, they showed that oh, look at streamers playing it. That means everybody plays it. But honestly, like, I haven't seen much. At least people I follow on the stream play all
I
that much.
haven't
I
yeah.
mean,
I feel like ever since Myth picked it up and then stopped playing it, I haven't seen it as much. It was like such a like Hyperscape, I feel like became popular because of Myth, and then now ever since he stopped playing it, it's I don't see many people on it anymore.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea how well it's doing. Maybe we're just seeing the wrong people,
You
or
think?
I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't know. Because usually you can tell if something's gone downhill quick, but this one I'm not sure. I couldn't say for sure that it's gone downhill quick. I don't know, even though I personally haven't seen a lot of people play it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I will find out by like a year from now. We'll know. You know, um, and speaking of other things come back to well, one's not really franchise, but two favorite games of the past from Ubisoft's category are coming back. The first one being something that had been rumored in the last week or so by certain people. And it's been confirmed. Yes, Scott Pilgrim versus the World game is coming back. And those of you who liked the movie, like I did, and like the books, they've released this game right around the movie and all that came out. You could get it like on the PS3. You could play and stuff like that. Then it was on, and then all of a sudden disappeared. It just they were like one day they were like, "This is it. It's going away forever." We're like, "No!" And then we never thought we would see it again. We hoped one day maybe it would come back, and it did. It's back. It's got the extra characters. It's on everything, including Stadia, all current gen stuff, and it's coming. It's here. Kendall, did you ever play the original Scott Pilgrim game? Were you into Scott Pilgrim at all? Do you not care about Scott
I
Pilgrim?
was into Scott Pilgrim, but like the manga and the movie, but I never picked up the game. So I don't know anything about the game.
Oh,
I love the
you
world.
you should, Kendall. It's good. It's a classic beat 'em up. It's like a Streets of Rage, Battletoads, side scroller beat 'em up. It's good. I never finished it. I never got far into it, but you could play. I think It could be a multiplayer thing too, and
Mhm.
it just goes through the movie of the game, but it just allows you to play it all the way through, and it's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. So I would highly recommend picking it up. I'm not sure what the price for it's gonna be, but It's worth it if you like especially if you like the series. Yeah, don't let this opportunity pass you by. Again, it's I highly recommend it. And I'm glad to hear that. And speaking of which, I'm gonna go on a slight tangent here, but again, Stadia had the thing, which I don't even know what game it was, where they're like, "Oh, you get to try it first on Stadia," and I was just like, again, seeing in chat, people forget Stadia exists. Stadia's still, they're still trying. I'm kind of starting to feel bad for them at this point. I'm like, they're trying. They're still coming out with games, but it's just, man, it's just the fact that Stadia is still a thing, I guess. It's something I just had to address. Anyway, Stadia. There's one person, one or two people out there that are like, anywho, but another game, Kendall, that's coming back. Curious your thoughts on this. There was a rumor for a bit recently too that a certain franchise may come back. The Prince of Persia franchise ended up being true. Prince of Persia,
No
it's
way!
coming back with a remake of the Sands of Time, which is from the original trilogy. Because you had the original trilogy. Well, let's do a quick history lesson. History time, folks. As I put out my glasses I already have on and take out a ruler. There was an original Prince of Persia game that came out way back on, like, I think it was Apple or Apple II. Then it came out with a sequel. It was a side-scrolling platformer, very different from Prince of Persia's now. Then about, like, 20 or so years have passed. Then they came out with the Sands of Time on, like, I think it was a PS2 and Xbox. Did well. Ended up making a trilogy of it. And then after the trilogy was done, then they decided to make a live-action movie of it that, had Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and that was the thing that happened. And then they kind of did a remake of the first game, sort of, based on the movie. Kind of what they did with the Ratchet and Clank franchise, except this didn't go over as well as that did. And it was okay or whatever. And then some more time had passed. Then they decided to reboot the franchise with a new Prince of Persia, which I believe is on the PS3 and 360.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed it. They made the characters different. It was like it was you and another princess character, and it was like got that cartoony graphic novel look sort of thing, the cell shade to it. Some people liked it. Some people thought it was too easy. But let's just say there was no more sequels to that game. And then since then, the franchise has been dormant. People wondered, like, hey, would the franchise ever come back? Is it even relevant to bring back or whatever? But yes, they've confirmed there's a remake coming next year, current gen only as of right now, not next gen. They rebuilt it, but depending on who you are, it might seem a little disappointing to you and some. It's we're getting a lot of remakes, a lot of redos. Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Then seeing this remake, it's graphically, it's not the best we've seen. It's definitely an improvement over the previous game for sure, but it is getting bashed on quite a bit for how it looks. So much so that's turned people off from wanting even to get the game and play it. Again, and then it's hard to disagree. I'm not gonna lie, the facial animations are not the best. And it is like a $40 price tag, which people think it should even be cheaper than that, considering how it looks. I don't know. It's again, people also seem to be saying too, like, is remake even the right word? Maybe it's more just of a remaster. There's not enough there to really call it a remake. Kendall, I don't know if you've seen some of the footage of this, but how do you feel? Are you like, nah, people are making a big deal. It's not the best, but it's improvement. It's fine. Or do you see where people are saying where they're like, ooh, it's a little rough?
I think it's a little bit of both. Yes, it could have been better, but like I also think people are making a big deal out of nothing. I don't know. What do you think?
I can get where they're coming from. It doesn't look the best, but I'm. Will you play it? Are you glad that just like own you for not playing it or something? Are you interested in playing it? Did you play the original ones at all?
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. So like I can't really say much about it. Wait,
Well,
have
then
you?
maybe for you it'll be good because again, like if you never played it before, this might be a better experience for you overall.
Maybe, actually, yeah. But that's also why I think people are making a big deal out of nothing. But also, I still see what people are saying. But, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I wonder. I don't know. Like it comes out 2021. Do you think there's a slight chance where it's like a crisis scenario where people were like, "Crisis doesn't look great," and they're like, "All right, well, we're gonna delay a little bit and kind of." Do you think there's a chance of that happening at all? Where like there's so many people that don't like it enough where they would even consider holding it off a little bit, or do you think
I
there?
don't think Crisis is that big of a game for them to do that, honestly. I don't know. That sounds really mean to say.
Right. But I mean they kind of did. I mean, so that's kind of what happened. They delayed a little bit like I think the PC release cuz people were complaining about it, but
Really?
yeah, they did. And so but Prince of Persia though, I don't know because does that mean we would get remasters of the whole trilogy? Would they have been better off just remastering the trilogy, which they've
Maybe.
done before? They did a remaster of trilogy before. Would they have been better off just releasing that again instead of trying to remake this game?
That's a
I
good
don't
question.
know.
The thing is, I don't know anything about that community to really, like, have a
Yeah.
proper opinion, you know?
See, and I here's the thing I will say. Now, I briefly played it back in the day. I didn't jump into as much as I wanted to. But again, the thing that made this franchise what was it was the game that introduced you being able to rewind time to fix your mistakes. That was a big gameplay element. And from what I'm seeing of this game for the footage they showed, gameplay wise and all that, it looks pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I can attest to the argument of not calling this a remake because Final Fantasy Remake, the gameplay and all that's completely different than the original. That's what's a remake. A remake to me is that you're not just updating graphically, but you're changing either certain parts of the game or how the game plays to make it different.
Yeah.
Whereas like this, they're just updating the graphics. That's about it.
That's yeah.
So it's like, it's I don't know if I feel like it's like, oh, you're not really selling what you're marketing kind of thing, and I feel a little like on the get set, like, come on, guys, you should know better. But still, I'm interested in testing it out. I think it's gonna be again, like for you, I think it's gonna be mixed, like how Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning was, right? Like that's an example. That wasn't remade, but it
Mhm.
was remastered with added content, and people that had played it, from what I heard, was like, it doesn't hold up as well anymore. But people still had fun with it. So, like for me, as somebody's never played it before, I'm getting the best experience. So I might enjoy it more than those people that had played it when it first came out a decade ago. So I think it's gonna be split. Like people who never played it are gonna like it. There's gonna be people that like it and then people that are gonna bash on it. I feel like.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, it was surprised. We didn't think it was gonna. There was rumors, but people still weren't sure that they weren't going to revisit that franchise anytime soon. But they are. Do you think this maybe is a feeler
Yeah. I mean, I don't yeah. Like what else? I don't know. Yeah.
to see like, oh, hey, let's see how this does
Yep.
to constitute us giving it another shot?
I think so because like I said, I feel like I don't know who's asking for it, but maybe
Mm.
I'm just like not in that community and I just don't know.
Yeah, it's very. But hey, it's good to see it come back. So yeah, they announced the last stuff, before coming back. Then Kindle, then they ended off. They're like, oh, and one more thing, as Uncle used to say at Jackie Chan Adventures. But I'm
Yeah.
saying it in a less stereotype racist way because I don't get myself in trouble. Um, Riders Republic, a thing that's new. People were first saying, "Wait, steep two, steep, another steep." Obviously, a little influence from steep, but it's its own separate thing. It's a multiplayer, maybe kind of open worldy sort of sports game experience. So it's got all the things. It's got snowboarding, bike riding,
Yeah.
skateboarding,
Mhm.
wings, all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
and it's based in real life locations. And it's a little bit of everything. So somewhat it's cool. The locations look good. It looks like maybe you can play in first person even. You're racing against each other. There's different modes. You see people wearing dinosaur outfits. You see a giraffe on one of the bikes in one of the scenes. So there's a little bit of absurd comedy, not take itself too seriously, clearly, by the trailer. And it's coming out next year as well for current systems and next gen as well. And again, as a non-sports person, like I don't really care, but I'm not gonna lie to you, Kendall. As the trailer went on, I did slightly start to get a little bit interested in this.
Yeah?
I must admit, as it continued on, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling it a little bit, surprisingly. As it continued on, as a game that normally doesn't appeal to me. Again, there's exceptions, right? Like I'm not a sports guy, but down the road, I wouldn't be, as I mentioned before, I might get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered maybe or something. But yeah, I was watching and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of digging it. I can see why certain people were kind of into this. Again, I wonder why they chose this. Why does this exist? Why is this a thing? But Kendall, or is this interested you at all?
Yeah, still same thing. I'm not in that community. I don't know anything about it.
It's okay. We don't know either. Nobody knows. It's a brand new thing.
Oh, it's brand new.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. It's a brand new thing. It's clearly, folks, like you
Oh,
can see, we do full research here on this channel.
yes. Yeah. No, I
Totally,
just
we
didn't know
totally.
anything about that. Like I know
Yeah.
nothing.
No. That's great. I'm glad. Well, I'm here to tell you. That's what I'm here for. Yeah. So it's a brand new IP and it's the last thing they announced at the end.
Ew. Oh. I just assumed it wasn't because most of the stuff they were talking about were like not original IPs.
Right.
So that's why I
This.
was just like, that's probably something else that I just don't know about.
Yeah. No. It's brand new. Brand spanking
Wow.
new. It's considered an massive multiplayer game, an
Wow.
MMO,
Nice. That's a little
essentially.
different from everything else that they announced.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
nice.
it looks like there's an overworld map too. At least the way it had in the trailer. So I'm not sure if it's one of those things where you just travel to location to location to do specific stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you can like physically go on a bike from one place to the other, I don't know. It wasn't fully clear on that.
Yeah.
But apparently it has actual, like they use actual data to map out all these national parks for all this to take place in.
Oh.
Yeah, a massive multiplayer online sports extreme racing experience.
Wow. That sounds crazy.
It sounds crazy. Again, like I would give the trailer to watch if you haven't seen it. Again, like once I started like getting to the layer half on, I was like, you know what, this could be kind of fun for a night.
Mm-hmm.
It could be kind of fun. And you can race up to 50 people at once per match. Yeah, and again, it looked like maybe there was some first person stuff too, or not, or things like that. There were certain things, like if you're not a fan of heights like I am, that was a little scary. Like there was one where there were, I don't know, like it was one of those things where you have like a line stretched out from one canyon to the other, and they were either like just climbing it or walking across it or riding this tightrope, and I was like having a panic attack inside.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, like there's giraffes, there's dinosaurs, there's weird kind of stuff, customization. Um, Again, I'm not sure who asked for this, but I'm curious to see where this goes. I have a feeling this is, I could see this doing better overall than Hyperscape,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Hyperscape is just not doing so hot anymore.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm gonna see Hyperscape doing. Is that weird?
Yeah.
What? How is it doing? I'm only seeing launch dates. I don't know, but I'm really curious. I'd be curious. We'll have to keep updated if we come out with
Yeah.
some analytics about that
Sure.
of how that's doing. But yeah, Kendall. And then they announced, hey, we're doing another we're gonna do another Ubisoft Forward. Didn't say when, but like, oh, we're gonna keep going. Who knows how many of these things are gonna have
Mm-hmm.
at this point. So yeah, that was it. That was the Ubisoft Forward. Again, overall, I like this one more than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like. Um I feel like it was better. Um and I'm curious to see where the next one's gonna be. I don't know. Some people are like, "Oh, no new updates on this or whatever." But I'm like, that's what the next one's for. You know, just comment. And the fact you're getting this releases, at least some older games are coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like our main topic thing, that we wanted to talk about. Next week we will be talking about the PlayStation stuff, of course. Um, there might be another extra thing or two coming out. I know PAX is this weekend. I don't know if something's gonna come out of that. So we will keep you updated on all the big things. But I can tell you that will definitely be a big part of it. We'll be covering PlayStation thing next week as one of our main topics. Um, so to go last bit of things, as far as what people have been playing, I kind of mentioned what I was playing earlier, but Kendall, what have you been playing? What are people playing? What is everybody playing?
I'm playing, and so is everybody else and their mothers, Among Us. For me, it just started working. I wasn't able to play Among Us with a lot of people for when it started up in the world, but it just started for me a few days ago, and I understand the hype. I'm so in love with it. Willden, you and I even played it together that one night, and I think it was really, really fun. Everyone's making like crazy YouTube videos out of it, and they're changing settings, trying to make it a little more crazy. They're trying to make memes out of it. There's so many memes out there. It's just a good overall fun game that requires no skill, so anyone could play with all of their friends.
Yeah, it's again, it's a game that came out a few years ago that all of a sudden randomly got hit. We started hearing it started becoming big and stuff like that. And it was one of those things where it's like everybody's playing Fall Guys and some people start playing Among Us, and then it kind of became equivalent both, and it kind of really just did a 180 where now there's I still see people playing Fall Guys, but most of the people now are playing Among Us. It's kind of interesting how it
Yeah, I think
turned on itself.
these two are just wonderful quarantine games. I don't know if they would be as successful as they are now if it wasn't for this quarantine, or maybe they were brought on because of the quarantine, but it's just like a good time for everyone.
Yeah, it's good. And I know it's again, it's I had my issues like and stuff with the game, but overall it's fun. A lot of people are, yeah, again, all the big streamers are playing it and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's good. It's weird. I feel good and bad for the developers too, because on one hand, if I was developers, I'd be like, oh, great, this is awesome. We're getting all this amazing exposure and stuff like this. But at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, where were y'all at though when we came out though? Do y'all really care about this great? Because like if this quarantine was happening, y'all wouldn't be playing any of this shit. Like who you think
Mhm.
you are, huh? Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's true though. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like back and forth, but yeah, Among Us, it's like hitting it, all the YouTube videos, and it's it's. I'm glad everybody's liking and playing it, but we'll see how long this thing lasts. I wonder if like when season 2 of Fall Guys comes out, then they'll kind of shift back. I know Spellbreak's the thing. I still haven't played Spellbreak yet. You mentioned it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. If I do think they do need a little more tweaks in there, but it's fun if you like battle royales without all the guns and the building.
I do not like buildings, so that really
And if you're more of like a like RPG fantasy type person, this is also a good game for that because it has to do a lot with spells and you can fly and a lot of elements. And I think it's a good time.
no, that's good. I still want to check out. I have seen some people bash it on the chat. Some people in bash and they're like, "Yeah, it's new Among Us," or they didn't say that, but I'm just being that toxic. But no, that's yeah. I still have checked out again. That's free on Epic as well. You can download that. There were some free games on Epic this week also. There was oh shoot, what was the one that I grabbed that was a decent one? I can't remember, but there was another decent one out this weekend. But in the meantime though, I think that's gonna start wrapping things up. Again, thanks guys for hanging in with us. Hopefully we'll have video next week. And have actually us on video again like the olden days. Again, spread the word, like, subscribe, share around your friends, follow us on socials. You can follow me at Willden on Twitter, Willden. Willden99 on Instagram and on Twitch. I stream as well, Willden1990. Feel free to stop on by. Let me know if you've heard the podcast or coming from podcast. Kendelle, where could people find you?
You could also find me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at Lady Kendall. That's LadyKendoll. And yes, please tell us how you like stuff, what you want us to do. We will be on YouTube. You can see our beautiful faces soon. Drop us a follow, a comment, just all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And hashtag G4 needs talent.
Yes.
Hashtag Willden and Kendall for G4 needs talent.
Yes.
Hashtag hire us. Hashtag yeah. Yes. But in the meantime, guys, until next week, we'll enjoy your gaming, stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll actually see you and you'll see us next week. Meantime, guys, bye.